Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the Oculus Quest. Now this just came out just over a week ago, and this device is honestly just insane for what it does. I mean, coming from a device that I used to have, which I still have, the HTC Vive, and how that setup was and what you needed to actually use it and to play the games on it, coming to this was just a breath of fresh air. Now, the audience watching these videos might not be the same as some guy who has the best headset and has an awesome gaming computer that can power it. Maybe some people that are watching this have never tried virtual reality before, and they're wondering if they should spend their money on a virtual reality headset like this. And I'll be completely honest, straightforward, before we even get started with this review, I totally recommend getting this headset. But let me just go into the details and why you guys should think about getting the Oculus Quest. Now, like I said, this just came out. This is my week review. I've been using it pretty much every day. It's so accessible, and that's what Oculus has been trying to do with this headset, is make it accessible, make it so that when someone comes over, they can just put it on, or you can bring it with you, go to a friend's house, and they can just put it on, and bam, they're already in the headset. And it works just like that. When I first got the headset, I had my family try it with ease. Of course, I had them use my other headset a long time ago, but this had it on, bam, they were playing, and they were like, wow, this is insane, this is so cool. Even when they've already tried my old virtual reality headset, this device makes it so accessible for people who have never tried VR or just really can't get too much into it because they have to deal with all the wires and the setup that VR or high quality VR devices require you to do when you want to have that experience. And you would expect a headset like this to be nowhere near comparable to the high fidelity VR headsets that have just came out in the last few months and also that came out 3 years ago. But it is surprisingly, it does compete with those headsets, and they even have maybe even better tracking and also better resolution than those previous headsets, which is absolutely insane, and at a lower price. That is mind-blowing to me. So let me tell you a little bit about the specs. Now, the specs are really good on this device. It uses an OLED display, which if you guys know anything about displays, that is the best display you can have. You can get the most accurate color depiction, with the blacks being super low because the display turns off the blacks. So you're going to get really rich colors and blacks when you use an OLED display. So watching movies on the Oculus Quest, maybe using the Netflix app, you're definitely going to have a great experience when watching content, and also just playing games on it that have great graphics, like for example Journey of the Gods, or playing Rec Room, or even the new Star Wars game that's on here that you definitely need to try. Yes, there is a Star Wars game on here called Vader Immortal. You can expect what that's about. So definitely try those experiences out. You're going to get a great experience with this display. It does have 72 hertz with this display, which comparable to the headsets from 3 years ago, like the HTC Vive and the original Oculus Quest that was hooked up to the PC, those were 90 hertz. Now, you would expect it to be, whoa, okay, that's a pretty big difference in hertz and frame rate compared to those headsets. Is there a noticeable difference when you have that? Now, me personally, I switch back with the HTC Vive and I switch back with this headset quite frequently, and I'll tell you, I feel a better experience using this headset compared to the 90 hertz. I don't know what that is. For some reason, comparing 90 hertz to 72 hertz when using this virtual reality display, I do not notice it at all. It is super, super smooth. I watched a lot of content before purchasing this display, and a lot of the videos that you do see, it kind of looks like the wands are a little bit shaky. Maybe it's like a PSVR type thing where it's not superly highly tracked. Well, that is totally wrong. I think it's just the videos that you watch, because when you're actually in a game, they do not shake at all. They're perfectly smooth, like the high fidelity VR headsets with the base stations. Now, you're probably wondering, how does it use the tracking? Do I need to set up base stations for this? No, not at all. There are 4 tracked cameras on here that track the controllers, track your movement, and not just that, but it also tracks the boundary system around you. So, of course, you don't want to bump into things. It has a guardian system where if you're in a new area, I think it tracks up to 5 areas, so you can bring this to a friend's house or just in different rooms in your house if you want to have, well, you know, I mean, it's up to you if you want to have different rooms for it, but you can. There is an option for that. You can just aim the controller and just, you know, create the boundary that you want, and it's super easy, and it pretty much recognizes it, you know, 90% of the time. Sometimes you might have to redraw your boundary, might not recognize it, maybe the room's a little darker, and you just have to redraw it again, but it's super easy to redraw. It's a great system. Honestly, I think every headset should have this Guardian system. The HTC Vive back, you know, with Steam VR, it did have this, but you had to pick up the remote and just hold the trigger and move around your play space, which wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good, but compared to this is a whole nother level. If you step out of the play space, black and white screen, and you can see where all the objects are. If you want to grab a soda, or if you want to just take the headset off, or if you're gonna hit something, you're gonna know. So it is really good, great. And also the Oculus Rift S has the same feature with a little bit more abilities with that because it is on a PC. But nonetheless, this is great for that. Also, going with the resolution is really high. It's higher than the previous headsets back in 2016, which I've come from. I've had those headsets for a long time. It's actually 1400 by 1600 display on each lens, which is really good. Including that OLED display is a beautiful display. So getting out of the way, this system, it packs so much into this little device. It's also really light. Some people say it's front heavy. For me, it's not. It's going to depend on who you are. Maybe it's because I have a lot of hair. I don't know what it is, but it's not that front heavy for me personally. So just getting that out of the way, great headset. You're getting a premium package with this headset. It's not even a question what you're getting out of this. It's not cheap. It's not at all cheap. It took them so long. If there's an article that I'll link down below where you guys can understand the process of them making this headset, and you're going to find out that before they even started this headset, and while trying to figure out if this headset was even possible to make, they were saying this is impossible. There's no way we could have a headset standalone with all the processing power being inside the headset and being comfortable and even being usable at all. And they have done it. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. I'll show you right now. I have it here. This is it. It's not in here. This is just the box. I have it. This is a great headset. It is super light. You put it on, bam, and you're in. It's super simple. If you watched the highly fantastic movie by Steven Spielberg, the virtual reality movie, which is The Oasis. I watch that movie all the time. They just put the headset on, bam, they're in. And it doesn't even look like this anymore. It's like glasses in the movie. So it's just like The Oasis with this thing. You just put it on, bam, you're in to high fidelity VR. And I'm really surprised of how the graphics look when using this headset. But moving on to comfort, this headset, like I said, it's super light. It has a great material here. A lot of people on YouTube, you will see them advertising VR cover, which you could replace this cover and get a totally different material on their website if that is your choice. For me, I'm using just the normal base cover that it comes with, and you should be fine with just the base cover. The base cover for me, I don't sweat in it. I think it's pretty good. I don't find any issues with it. Of course, you can wash it, I'm pretty sure. And there's also a glasses spacer in this headset that you can use if you have glasses, which I am using right now. You can see it's a little elevated than normal because I am using the glasses spacer that does come with the headset. It also has this sort of circular outside here that goes in cups on your head, which is really good for keeping the weight from just coming from, this side of the headset, just bowing down, which it does happen to some people with, a lot of the old headsets. But with this ring design out here, it is really good for distributing the weight. So it is really comfortable, this headset. You're going to like it a lot. And it's also, like I said, really light. It goes really well. They've really, designed this really well. But it's not really the headset that I'm really impressed with. It's the controllers. Now, I talked about the tracking with the controllers. They're called the Oculus Touch controllers. Maybe you guys are familiar with them. You're going to see right here, these controllers are just ergonomically beautiful. I mean, you can compare it to the Xbox controllers, just how they feel in your hands. They have the sticks here, and they have the X, Y, and AB buttons that you would find like on an Xbox controller. So if you like the Xbox controller, you're going to like this. Even if you don't, I think you're just going to find this to be much better than any other controller that there is on the market. Unless you decide to get those finger track controllers coming from Valve with the Valve Index controllers. Those headset controllers are going to be absolutely insane and better than these probably. But ergonomically, I found these controllers to be great. Coming from the wands, from the HTC Vive, those things were like big sticks. They were like swords, which is good for a sword game, but they had a lot of front heaviness to it, so there was a lot of weight with picking it up and moving it around in games, when if you were just holding your hands in a virtual reality environment, you really shouldn't feel weight to your hands. You just should just feel your hands, and that's what you do with these controllers. They are great. These are probably the best controllers out on the market, and we'll know more, of course, when they release the Valve Index controllers, which, you just strap that onto your arm. Strap that onto your hand and on the knuckles. They used to be called the knuckles controllers. So you're going to be able to strap that around your hand, and that's going to be much better probably. But overall, these controllers are absolutely fantastic. But, comfort, 10. Quality, 10. Everything is pretty good right now. But let's get into more into that quality with the games. It doesn't have an insane processor. It uses Snapdragon. I got the got the exact Snapdragon. It's a Snapdragon 835 processor in here. So that's not a insane processor in here. So you're gonna expect not an insane graphical experience compared to the computer, but you're gonna get a great one nonetheless. I mean, the games look impressive for what you're getting out of that CPU, that processor. So also just a reminder with the pricing of this, I really wanted to get this in here. This is going to be $400 for the 64 gigabyte version, and it's going to be $500 for the 128 gigabyte version. And I recommend getting the $400 one because unless you're doing like a lot of media consumption and you plan on getting movies, your own movies onto this headset, then I wouldn't really recommend getting the 128 version just because a lot of the games are not going to get you anywhere close to even 64 gigabytes. So there is really no reason, unless you plan on getting a billion of games, or if you have the extra money to spend and you don't care, then sure, get it. But I recommend just getting the $400 version because that is going to be just enough. So yeah, guys. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, go down, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. All right, see you guys next time. Peace out.